This segment is brought to you by JigMasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to JigMasters.com and use promo code PNF20 and save 20% off your next jig order today.
You're listening to Bass Fishing for Noobs on the Paddle and Fin podcast with your hosts Ryan Milford and Sean Lavery.
All right, welcome back to the Bass Fishing for Noobs segment on the Paddle and Fin podcast. I'm your host, Sean. With me tonight, we have Ryan.
What up?
As always, thanks for being here, Ryan. And we got a few other of our Paddle and Fin brethren here. We have Doodoo in the house.
What's up, everybody? What's up, man? What's up, everybody?
The boss man himself, Brian the Killer Schiller. What's up, Brian?
Did Ryan lose a bet because you get to kick off the episode?
I've been doing a lot lately.
So he's going to close us out. You know, he has that challenge
he's
tonight,
going to mess that up. He's going to mess that tongue
Hey,
twister up.
and by the way, it's no longer Brian the Killer Schiller. It's now Brian the Quitter Schiller since he's said he's going to quit fishing.
Oh man!
Just for a couple months, bro. Just for a couple months.
You're in the off season. There's no off season down here where I'm at, so I'm lucky.
Yeah, I haven't fished since we were all at Dale Hollow. That was the last time I fished.
Oh dang!
I've fished one weekend since I had that 2-day tournament, and that's the only time I've fished since Dale Hollow.
Oh.
But I've been working a lot too. They've been making us work 6 days a week, and so we got really one day off. And I don't like getting up early. I like getting a little. This is going to end up turning into more of an after hours episode, ain't it?
No telling.
I've been getting up at like 2:30 every morning on the weekends and the whole Thanksgiving weekend just to go hunting, man. It's been brutal.
No wonder you've been grumpy.
Yeah, I haven't had my beauty sleep.
Oh, beauty sleep.
We can tell.
Sean's been crushing the big smallmouth out there on the Susquehanna.
A few times.
That's awesome.
I got skunked on Sunday though, and I'm fighting the urge to have to put on my dry suit. I've been kind of skirting the edge of that right now, but I think it's finally getting cold enough now where I'm going to need to break it out if I can. So
we had some cold temps yesterday, night before. It was 36 yesterday morning. It was warmer today. I didn't even wear the boundary boots today. I wore regular, just water shoes. Water was like 64. Came warm back up a little bit. Got some time on the water today. But yeah, man. Them smallmouth calling my name over there. I'm gonna have to make it over here one of these days.
Oh.
It was 48 out the last time I went out in the river, and I wore my boundary boots and my feet or my toes were numb. So I'm like, I gotta have to get a little warmer. But
do you wear wool socks with them?
I wear like Under Armour socks, like wicking socks. So
okay.
Yeah, that's what you need, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Wool wicking socks.
Wool wicking socks will make a big deal. Actually, there's another company out there, Sealskins, makes a pretty good boot. It's got a cuff all the way that comes up to your knee, and those are actually wool lined, and they are waterproof. So you can wear those and just wear your regular water shoes, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Also.
Cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, today's episode, this is going to be the last episode of the year. We're taking a little break here around Christmas time. We'll be back in January. So we figured it'd be cool to get a few of us on here to talk about, what were some accomplishments we made this year, some new stuff we learned this year, and what some goals are for 2021. So, who wants to start it off? What accomplishments y'all make this year? Not everybody at once.
Like as an angler, or as on the podcast, or just in general?
I guess keep it relative. Podcasts. Fishing.
Yeah. I know one accomplishment we all made together was that we all got to get together at Dale Hollow at East Point.
Yeah.
And and have a great time. I'll be looking forward to us doing something like that next year. So that was a pretty big accomplishment to get almost all of us together in one spot at one time. That was super cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We had everybody but what, like 3?
Well, yeah, Susie.
There was no Susie, no JP.
Armando and Salo and JP.
And Brad.
Yeah, so there was 4.
And Brad.
5.
Yeah. We got one.
Out of like 15 people, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially with a month notice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. I mean, I'd have to agree with that.
Wish we would have had a little more time, but it was a good time. The days we had was good. It was like boom, 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 wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It was like over.
Yeah. I mean, that was the first time a lot of us have met in person, which is cool. Like, we always talk on the phone or through these podcasts and stuff like that. And to be able to get on the water together, share meals together, make fun of Ryan together.
Yeah.
After
I was going to say, have some drinks together.
Yeah.
Jim B.
Watch Ryan clean up his mess together.
And one of my favorite parts of that trip, even though there were only 4 of us there at that time, everybody else had done headed home, is us going to that barbecue place. Like that was just a cool
experience.
Yeah. That was good to go, man. That's some hometown Tennessee welcoming committee.
Yeah.
Walk in the door and sit down, and the ladies start busting jokes, and next thing you know, I got some shine. Y'all want to try it? Oh, why? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
It's not on the menu, but hey, here you go.
That shit would have stripped the paint off my truck.
Well, the funny part was like after we took the shots, we're like, if this stuff isn't made right, you can go blind. So I think the next morning we all woke up like, can I see? Yeah. Can I see? We're like looking around.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back there.
Grub too. Pretty good grub. Pretty good.
And a lot.
Yeah, a lot of food.
What was the name of that
barbecue
place?
Nachos. I keep wanting to call it T-Birds, but it was like Tea House or something.
Tea House Barbecue. That's it. Yep. Yeah. Tea House Barbecue. Little hole in the wall.
It's like inside of a barn. Like it's really country place, but man, it was awesome. Got the barbecue nachos, and they came out in a full-size cast iron skillet and just loaded up.
Yep, they had fried catfish all you can eat that night. It was pretty dang tasty. The pork shoulder was good. The sides were good. It was all good to go. Just that down home feeling right there. All the locals were in there. It was good times, man. After a long day on the water, we're pretty hungry too.
Yeah. A lot of times those hole in the wall places are like the best places,
Yeah, that's the legit stuff right there. Man, look at y'all with them mic filters, man. I gotta get with the program.
I'm going off of earbuds right now because all my mics are at the studio. I was gonna drive down there tonight, but then I got lazy.
I didn't realize that wasn't at your place. I thought that was there.
No, that's a whole separate location.
Cool.
Yeah, got the office.
Yeah, him and Jay got real dedicated and actually rented out an office space for the podcast.
Dang.
Well, it's dirt cheap, so we're good.
Cool.
But yeah, Dale Hollow trip definitely was fun. Most of it.
There's this one stretch of it that you can't really remember much of. But...
Yeah, and then one stretch of it I wasn't exactly feeling 100%. But overall, it was awesome to get to meet everybody. Had an awesome cabin out there at Eastport, and
that's
good.
Insane area right there.
We'll be back there in spring.
Yep,
that is right.
Clash of Clubs and
Clash of Clubs Trail Series, little open events. Yep.
Yeah.
Fishing should be a little more favorable that time of year, I imagine.
Fishing's supposed to be hot that time of year, so spawn kicking in, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'd be curious to get over there on the main lake and fish some of that stuff.
Yes, Are you going to come up for that?
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Awesome. Well, I guess we can get into that a little more.
A couple of them at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can get into that a little more when we get to plans for 2021. But yeah, like as far as like your fishing, did you meet any goals this year? I mean, I know you're already like a great angler. It's hard to improve where you're at, but you know,
this year was a one-off though, as far as I did travel, but I didn't really hit as many tournaments as I kind of like had planned out. But
I think that was pretty much everybody.
Yeah, it's just a weird year. I mean, I definitely, I mixed it up: bass tournaments, saltwater side, redfish, trout tournaments, flounder tournaments. I just like to, there's just so many options out there. I want to get what I can get to, just continue to represent Jackson. That's a big deal to me. Is running the team. I'm the South Region, team lead down here, and got some team to take care of and all that. Just kind of working with them and moving forward and trying to represent the brand the best way we can. Podcast wise, we just try to line them guests out without having people cancel on you. I'm sure all of y'all can attest to that.
Oh yeah.
It just listeners, I just want y'all to know that it's not easy scheduling all these guests to get on these shows. It's just not like Whistling Dixie, you like snapping your fingers kind of. Oh yeah, no, there's problems all the time trying to get people to get on. It's just
I mean, you got a schedule, they got a schedule. Sometimes they don't align. Sometimes tournaments getting in the way of that. Just life in general. Yeah,
and then there's other podcasts that are getting the same people. Sometimes you kind of step on it's hard not to step on each other's toes. Sometimes it's just like that's what I like. If we all work together, it's good to go. I like that.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I can definitely agree with being hard to schedule sometimes. Fishermen are flaky, man. Like they bail last minute sometimes. We've had two different people like just not show up, not message or nothing in the same week. And it's like man, what? But I mean, they both had excuses for not being able to.
No call, no show.
Yeah.
That's when you get fired from a job. No call, no show.
Good thing we're not paying them.
I think as frustrating as that is, though, just the fact that I can say I talked to Russ Snyders, I talked to Jody Queen. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how awesome that is. And a year ago, if you would tell me today that I would have talked to all those people, I'd have said you were full of it. But
full of it. Greg Blanchard,
kind of cool.
Christine, had different people on the show, and it's like, that's some of the leaders in the kayak fishing world, and it's like to get them to share some stuff with everybody's pretty special.
Yeah, and just the fact that they take the time, and like Jody Queen, he's the most humble guy and the nicest guy you'd ever meet. The fact that they take the time out of their busy schedule to talk to me is something I'll definitely not take for granted. So,
well, I know. I mean, y'all, the Noobs Cat podcast gets some good traction because just like you guys coming up and everything, and I mean, there's so many anglers out there that just starting out that it's just. They want to hear that them tips and tactics. They want a little help. They want a little guideline to go by, and having all those high caliber anglers on is definitely a plus. So man, y'all been on point with the episodes, man.
Well, it's definitely this year, with COVID and a bunch of places shutting down, nobody really had anything to do, and they wanted to get out of the house. So a lot of people took up fishing and kayaking and all that. So. Definitely been a big spike.
it's already looking like it's going to continue into the same pathway for next year as well. You know, just at the kayak shop alone, manufacturers, things like that. I mean, there's already pre-orders, like orders that already came in, sold, and now people are pre-ordering again, and it's going to be tough in the industry, like any outdoors industry, not just kayaks and not just fishing, but like bicycles, camping equipment, all that stuff. Like, so many people rediscovered the outdoors again this year, and now they're getting their friends to do it, and so on and so forth. So there's going to be a huge shortage. I know, I know in the group chat for Black Friday, everybody was saying like nobody could order anything on Tackle Warehouse because it was just getting overloaded. Like, I don't think I've ever heard that before. I mean, so that just goes to show, like so many people are looking at these outdoor things. So I would say if you're looking at getting a kayak, new rods, reels, baits, stuff for spring, you might want to start planning that for now.
Start planning that now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Sean, what goals did you accomplish this year?
Well, I had never fished tournaments before this year, so that was
Brian made sure we all jumped into that.
Yes, and that was awesome. The Noobs tournament was amazing. I mean, it forced me to get out on the water, so I fished way more this year than I ever had before, which was great. That helped my learning tremendously. If I had one regret, it's that what I've heard was the coolest parts of some of the tournaments is stuff I didn't get to experience this year, like the meetups afterwards, where everybody gets together. That was kind of absent because everywhere I went, it was just kind of all virtual. So I'm looking forward to getting that experience too. But just being out on the water with some guys, the way they're willing to let me tag along with them or, just kind of guide me was awesome. And it gave me a lot of comfort and, that I wasn't just kind of out there shooting from the hip. And so that was definitely a big thing for me. I caught way more fish this year than I ever have before. I feel like I've learned a ton in a short time, and I can't wait to see how I can apply it next year. Talking about people getting out more during COVID time, that forced me off of my local lake where it was kind of my safety spot, but it got so overcrowded with people that I ended up going to the river because there's a lot more river to explore, and that was really good for me too, because it kind of got me out of my comfort zone and forced me to learn some new things, and but that really paid off because I caught, like I said, way more smallmouth this year than ever before, and just definitely feel a lot more comfortable now navigating the river and knowing that I'm not going to go out there and get skunked because I know places to go or what to try and different aspects like that. So that's been a big plus for me. And just getting started on the podcast. I mean, February is when I started, and it's just been amazing. All the different people that I've talked to, the experiences I've had going to Tennessee. I can't say that I probably would have done that had it not been for the podcast. So, I mean, yeah, it's been crazy. So I want to keep that ball rolling going into next year too, and just keep learning, keep talking to the best people in the industry, and see where I can go.
Yeah, it's been cool to see you kind of grow this year, man. Like, you could definitely tell, like, it was kind of like Ryan, when he started up the whole Bass Fishing for Noobs segment, last year, and seeing him grow. And I mean, Ryan cashed a check this year. Actually, you won that tournament, right?
Well, it was kind of a mini thing. It wasn't like a real tournament.
It's a W. You took first, bro.
I brought
Take
money
home. Credit. Yeah.
Out of 4 people, I got first, and I took their money.
I see Sean heading in the same direction, man. He's, I remember the days when you were like picking our brains, like, what would you guys do here and this and that on the Susquehanna, and you were trying to figure stuff out, and you were having some struggles and stuff, and then like to see how you're ending your year has been really cool. Like in that whole in between as well. Yep. Like you can definitely tell some things clicked for you this year, and I think you've definitely grown as an angler, dude. It's cool to sit back and watch that. It's like watching. They're like watching sponges. One of the kids grow up.
Yeah, they're like sponges soaking all that info up when they have the guests on. Yeah, there's no doubt about that for sure.
Yeah, man.
It can't help but make you better, really.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But I mean, as far as accomplishments, I'd say that one of them for me would be bringing Sean on here as my co-host, and I feel like we've kind of taken like our segment to the next level. Adding him on there, I would have points where I blank and can't think of anything to say or something, and make kind of awkward, and then a couple times like, hey Brian, can you edit this out? but having Sean on there, if I blank, he's got something to say. If he ain't got nothing to say, I got something to say. And I think it really helps the conversation keep flowing. And I've talked about it before, like I was about ready to be like, you know what, I'm kind of done with the headache of this, because like I said before, being solo, doing a weekly segment, like having to schedule the guests and all that, man, it's rough. And like Dustin was saying earlier, it's rough anyways, but being solo every single week, having to line it up, and especially being a nobody, in the industry, like, man, it's tough. And so that kind of eased some of it off of it for me, both of us looking for guests and skidding. But as far as fishing goes, I wanted to break my PBs this year again. And I did break my smallmouth PB by about a half an inch. I mean, it's still not a huge, but good for me. It's 17 17.75 smallmouth.
17.75.
It was definitely fun.
That's a good fish, man. That's a real good fish.
One go I didn't make, which I still got a couple weeks to make it. So maybe I wanted to break 20 inches again. Not necessarily break my PB, which is 21, but I wanted to break that 20-inch mark, and I didn't do that. Actually, a couple weeks ago was the closest I got, I believe, 19.25. Well, I had one in February. I didn't get like a measure on a catch board or anything. It was on kind of one of those rulers that we don't really trust in the kayak community. But I can't remember if it was 19.25, 19.5 on that. But as far as official laid out on a catch board, it's 19.25 a couple of weeks ago. And but I've caught some good fish this year. Maybe not 20 inches, but I've caught some good fish. I've caught a lot of fish. Last year I was excited because I caught so many fish, and this year I've probably double or tripled that. So that's been awesome.
Nice.
Come on over here in February, March, and we'll get you some 24s.
Yeah.
Hey, I might have to take you up on that.
Come on. April, May, that's all good too. Good spots.
Another one of my goals too was just to catch fish on different lures, and so this year I caught my first spinnerbait fish. I caught my first frog fish. I had so many different techniques that now I've tried and have at least a little bit of comfortability with. Still haven't hit my drop shot. I don't know what I'm doing wrong there, but I got to learn, figure that one out. But but I got away from my wacky rig, my beloved wacky rig that I used all of last year, and tried a bunch of different stuff. Wicked Willow, I caught fish on that. Chatterbait, a ton of different stuff. So that was, another plus for me. So I think a good goal for next year is for me to break 20 inches. I think I've been close, but haven't quite got there yet. And to maybe place in a local tournament. Those are my two goals for this year. So
tournament.
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 I love it. I love it.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's one thing. I should have cashed another check in a tournament this year, but I didn't check my pictures. And, I had a picture, I tied with third place, but they had the big fish. So they got third and I got fourth. And if I would have checked my pictures, one of my fish, I actually had a picture of it measuring a 1/4 inch bigger than what it was. That would have put me above them, and I would have cashed like an $88 check. I mean, nothing huge, but cash them check. Yeah.
Still cashing checks, yo.
Hey,
But
man, that's gas.
Fourth place out of like 20.
Yeah. Gas.
Fourth place out of
Cheeseburger.
20-something people. I feel pretty good about that.
And a 12-pack of Natty Light. Two 12-pack of Natty Light.
Or a couple of those little shooters of some Jim Beam honey or something.
Some Jim Beam honey. That ain't gonna last him. He's gotta get more than a couple of them. Freaking swig the whole half of a fifth.
That's funny.
That stuff is good though.
It's so smooth.
So good. That's one
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
That stuff breaks vacuum cleaners.
Yeah. And soil sheets too.
But it was entertaining.
So Brian, what have you learned fishing wise, podcast wise this year, or what have you accomplished?
Well, I think all of us as a whole. I mean, a huge accomplishment for us was what we hit 100,000 plays at the beginning of the year. Then we hit 200K, and we're about to hit like 250K. So like, I think that's pretty incredible. The growth that we've had in the podcast is pretty special. We got a good group of guys and gal that work their butt off round the clock. I've learned that just means more work for me. But that's the thing too. Like we're growing, so we're making some changes, doing some stuff. So the workload's more spread out amongst us. So it's just going to help better us as a whole. I think that's going to be cool for 2021.
Yeah.
Fishing wise, like I didn't go as hard as I did in 2019, and I kind of had planned that from the beginning of the year. And I wanted to get out and venture out and do just more like relaxed, adventurous trips. We spent a week up in the North Woods, lake hopping. I mean, any which direction you drove, you could be on 100 different lakes. So we did that. We did a few other trips, some river floats, Jay and I. I wanted to do more camping this year, so I got the rooftop tent set up. So that's been pretty cool. I really like that. And, we had come up with this whole new trail series for next year too. I think that was something that like Susie and I kind of had an idea about last winter. And, as the year progressed, we had talked more and more about it, and then we got more people involved, and it was like, all right, well, I guess maybe we should do this. And I'm pretty stoked for that. There was a lot of work and energy that went into that whole thing. And, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I didn't fish as much this year as I probably would have liked to, but I did make a career change. Like I had a bunch of stuff going on personally too. So, it's been, and obviously with the whole pandemic, it was like, what are you going to do anyways? I did make it down to Table Rock Lake. I won big bass first hour on day 2. So that was cool.
Giant smallmouth, wasn't it?
Yeah. I love that lake, man. It's like my goal to make it there at least once a year. Just because I love that place. It's just beautiful. If you've never been there, it's my style of fishing, a lot of rock and gravel bottom. the landscape is unbelievable, and it's one of my favorite places to fish. So, I mean, that's basically it, man. I kind of took a backseat on like tournament fishing and stuff like that, and now moving forward into 2021, you know, I'll have more of that helping run the tournament role, which will be cool. It'll be different. I'm pretty excited about that. I know when we were coming up with like roles for the trail, I got dubbed the slimmer, better looking Chad Hoover. So that's my role with the trail. I love you, Chad. I love you, Chad Hoover. But you know, it'll be exciting to see what happens in 2021. Hopefully, you know, with all this COVID stuff, that goes away, and we can get back to some kind of normalcy in the kayak fishing tournament world. But I will say too, it's been really cool to see different clubs and trails and things like that come up with ways to make it work. I think that's super cool as well. And not only that, we did the online Noobs tournament series this year, and that was super cool too. Like, I did a lot of judging for that, and it was very interesting and very cool to watch some of those anglers grow as well, like you guys did. Like, we were talking about that. Like, we got a lot of people introduced into the kayak fishing tournament world. They got their feet wet. You're going to see some of those guys and gals perform, I think, really well next year. I think the person that I saw like improve a ton and like get super consistent was Regina Jones. She crushed it, man. Shout out to her. You know, again, it's like watching the kids grow up, you know. Mm-hmm. I think that's, you know, to me, that means the most, because that's why the podcast was started, right? Was to educate, get people involved, get information out there, help grow the sport or hobby or whatever you want to consider it, bigger and easier for people to get in it, feel comfortable. You know, we always talk about that camaraderie thing, and, you know, I feel like we've achieved a lot of those goals this year, you know, by the number of plays we've gotten, the tournaments. You know, we've helped promote a lot of names, both brands, anglers, trails, you know, things like that through all the stuff that we do. So I think that's the most rewarding thing for me for 2020, you know, is whether the kayak fishing world wants to look at it that way or not. I think Paddle and Fin has really helped grow what everybody does, and all different aspects too, you know. And that's the thing too, we're always changing and evolving. Like right now, you know, Jay and I have been on a hunting kick. So we've been doing hunting episodes, which translates over into the kayak, because some of the spots and things we've been doing, we've been using kayaks to utilize to get out and do that thing. And, you know, I'm part of the new canoe team, which I'm super grateful for. And, you know, that's one of the things that they promote a lot too. And I know Jackson does that as well. Like Chris Funk, that dude's always using his kayak to get out and do stuff. So there's like, Jay and I have always talked about, like, there's so many different aspects other than just kayak fishing tournaments. Mm-hmm. And I think us as a group as a whole, we do a really good job on highlighting all that other stuff. And I think that's what's really grown our audience too. So, but overall, man, I mean, I think everybody deserves a pat on the back at Paddle and Fin for that, you know?
Definitely. Like, a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, man. And it's very cool to see, like, and I'm sure you guys have got it. And, you know, you go to a tournament or you're in a kayak shop or whatever, and you get the, you're one of those Paddle and Fin dudes, right? It's kind of crazy at first. Like, I remember the first time that happened to me, I was scouting the riverbank down the road here, and some guy came up to me and was like, "You're one of those paddle and fin dudes, right?" And I was like, "Whoa, like, who the hell are you?" You know, like, it was out of the middle of nowhere. This dude just walked out of a creek with waders on. I'm like, am I about to get shot, robbed? Like, what's going on, you know? But
oh no,
it's kind of cool, man. Like, you know, not the recognition thing, but it just goes to show that we're reaching people, you know, and across the nation too. You know, it's not just, you know, here in Illinois or Tennessee or Texas or Pennsylvania. I mean, you look at we get a breakdown of states and countries of like where our plays are coming in, and nationwide. We're the only fishing podcast that has a Spanish episode. Like, that's super cool too.
Yeah,
that's international now. Like, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it does pretty well too.
I was pretty stoked on that.
Yeah, and our guy Salu, he just moved from Puerto Rico to Greece. So now, like, we got one of our own dudes in Europe. Like, that's just, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. That's crazy. Yeah. But but I mean, overall as a whole, man, I mean, there's been a lot of hours, days, weeks that have gone into everything here, and
well, think about all that went into the angler, the pod, with everybody. We had to schedule people to run those live feeds, and we all had to make the days to fish. And I mean, that was pretty cool with all the stuff we gave away to all the listeners and viewers. And you know, that was another thing that went on this year. That was like, this year was kind of a one-off, and you know, we brought that to the table, and it was a pretty cool little deal, man.
I mean, and especially at that time, right? Like, that's when COVID hit and people were bummed out. We brought some joy and some fishing back into some people's lives. And I think that really showed that, even though you can't be hanging out with a bunch of people, there's a way to do it, you know, virtually, which, you know, isn't like the real thing of hanging out with 20 of your guys, you know, or gals or whatever, and fishing. But where there's a will, there's a way, right? And we always try to find that way. So that's cool. But yeah, man, I think that's been it for me, you know. I've kind of stepped back into the shadows slowly this year too. And I didn't want to always be for me, I'll say is, at the beginning of the year, a lot of people incorporated paddle and fin with just myself. And there was way more to paddle and fin than just Brian, right? And so I've kind of tried to step back a little bit, because I think all you guys deserve way more attention than I do. You know what I mean? Like, we all deserve it equally, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's cool to see that kind of transition over this year too. Like, it's not just Schiller guy paddle and fin. It's paddle and fin. Oh, they got Doo-Doo, they got Ryan, Sean, Brad, Josh, Jimmy, Dan. You know, like, all these people. So it's been kind of cool to see that transformation too.
Well, see, that's another accomplishment for Paddle and Fin, and for you, you know, kind of putting it together, is we finally got it all put together where we've got 7 days a week podcast coming out.
Yeah.
You know, I know that was a goal of yours for a while, and, you know, slowly, you know, found people that were interested and added more segments and got up there. And I think we put out, you know, quality content weekly, like all week long.
And sure. That's a ton of content when you think about it. I mean, that's insane. So
I mean, we're recording this Wednesday, right? So Wednesday before this airs, and today was episode 272 for 2020. Just for 2020, dude.
That's crazy.
That's freaking ridiculous, you know? So
yeah, you don't see any other podcasts putting out that much content.
This episode will be episode 277. So we'll have over 280 episodes just for 2020 before we go on break.
So we'll be. Oh, that's right. We're going on break. I was forgetting about the break for a second. I was like, we might hit 300, but no, we got the break.
Will this be the last episode of the season?
This will be the last episode for us.
For y'all.
Yeah. I think you're the last episode of the season, bro.
Oh, next Sunday?
No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. I better find somebody to record with.
Yeah.
I thought I had a bye week. I better get on the ball.
No, it's the Spanish episode this Sunday, and then the following Sunday is you.
Me.
And I think that's the start of the break. I think.
Break. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're going
on the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Because the 13th, December 13th will be our last episode, and then we come back January 4th, kicking it off with the Bass Fishing for Noobs.
Sweet. Cool deal.
Yeah.
All right, everybody listen to this episode. Hey, reach out to me on Messenger. I need a guest. Yeah, I got some people in mind. I made some connections over in Gulf Shores. A bunch of the anglers that was over there for that Redfish Championships, and so I got some people on standby.
Nice.
I got a question. I don't ever hear of anybody like saltwater fishing up around like New York or any of that northeast area. Do people not saltwater fish up there, or?
Oh yeah, they do.
They're up there.
They do a lot of striped bass fishing.
Big striper. There. I had a guy from New Jersey on, Rob English. I had him on.
Did you?
Yes. Yep. He's one of the hammers up there on the northeast. There's a good big deal going on with that with the kayak saltwater series. That's why it's the kayak saltwater series. Leave room for different species. But there's talk of some striper tournaments and stuff like that up there.
Nice.
Pretty cool stuff. Big bluefish, stripers.
They're gonna do like some lingcod tournaments and stuff out on the West Coast.
There's talk about that in the calico bass. I'd actually go over there to do some calico bass stuff in the Mission Bay area, San Diego. Nice. It's really cool. Those little fish fight. They fight even harder than a smallmouth. Those little calico bass, dude.
Are those the real cool colored ones?
Yeah, they got like spots all over them, real cool looking.
Yeah, those look cool.
Yeah, those are some cool fish to catch. They fish for them just like you fish for bass, pretty much, with some kelp beds and structure and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, the lingcod and the yellowtail, they're kind of some offshore stuff over there. Be pretty cool. Get some West Coast love going.
I want to see you hook into a great white shark, dude, on your kayak.
Oh, that's all right.
If anybody could do it, it would be you. Like, oh, there goes Doo-Doo, get dragged around by a 20-foot great white shark. He'll land it.
Get some footage of some shark. I've caught multiple sharks off the kayak. Need to get some footage next time.
Or get one of those, what is it, like 600-pound marlin, like that one dude did from a kayak.
Towed for like miles, like 12 miles or something.
Yeah, Adam Fisk down there.
That's crazy, man.
Animal. It's got two of them now, over 500 class marlin. Pretty insane. Yeah, man, it's been crazy. I know I just hit a year on my segment in the middle of November, which was like, whoa. A year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And it's kind of crazy to think like it's been over a year since you've been on this segment. When you first joined, we did the host interview.
Yeah.
And I think that was the one and only time you've been on here. Since you've been on Paddle and Pin. And it's been almost a year since Brian's been on here. He used to have to help me fill in and help me put out episodes all the time, but we've done pretty good finding guests this year. So
I used to fill in for everybody, man. I was the go-to.
Yep. Had a lot of good stuff going on lately. Jake Harshman and all them guys coming on. Like I say, you'll have Russ and Jody Queen and
man,
there's been some straight hammers on the shows. Lots of info out there to share, and soak that stuff up. That's how like it was at the meetup, man. I was all ears.
Yeah.
Sitting there with Adam Reiser and Russ Snyders, and And then their buddy Mark was around. You know, we got to hang out and stuff too. You know, there's just a plethora of knowledge right there. Something, you know.
That was a really cool night there too. You know,
Yeah.
Everybody downstairs just chilling. You know, there's a little living room style area down there, and everybody like sitting on the couches talking. And then you got the ping pong table over here. People taking turns playing ping pong. You know, Jimmy was whooping everybody, and then Sean stepped up and whooped Jimmy. And
yeah, there's a lot of good talk went down that night. A lot of good, you know, telling story. You know, a lot of good stuff went down.
I just thought of that last night. We were getting out of the hot tub, that stream of water.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was all our fat asses in there letting it overflow. And then when we all got out, the water went below the jet, so the jet was like,
it was me, Brian, and Doo-Doo all sitting in the hot tub, and like we're like, what's going on? Because water splashing and going out. I didn't think it was that much though. We went to get out, and when we did, the jet was above the water line, and it was shooting, and then Doo-Doo's like, hang on, let me turn it off, and he's like hitting buttons, and all of a sudden it just it shot like 25 feet.
I think my shirt and my towel got wet from that.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
that was a good one. That was good.
So, goals for 2021. What, you know, you gonna break PBs? Are you gonna attend more tournaments? Win more tournaments? What we got?
Ooh. How about starting off the year without kidney stones at a tournament?
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I'm going back to Seminole for some redemption. I definitely am. Let's try to travel and hang out more. I think I'm gonna fish some tournaments, but I don't think I'm gonna be hot and heavy on them. I would love to see some shows kick off and all that, but it looks like a lot of shows are already getting canceled for the beginning part of next year. But you know, I look forward to do some filming with some companies coming up. Hopefully, you know, get over there and fish with Miss Jean again. That's always a plus to get over there in the early part of the year, springtime. Fish some of the river systems and some of that saltwater stuff down there in Florida, you know, around Tallahassee and St. Mark's area. And, you know, just keep the podcast going, keep growing as an angler, as a person. You know, family does come first though. So, you know, you got to make sure you take care of that family life before you get that fishing side of thing. You know, I guess I'm just trying to, you know, just make sure you take care of your family. Definitely, before you start running all over the place and everything, because, you know, a lot of, you know, that's what's important right there is the family. And, you know, we're like a family too, you know, this whole podcast group we got going, you know. So, you know, just us to continue to grow.
We're a family, but Ryan's the redheaded stepchild.
He's the redheaded stepchild. Yep, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd like to break my bass PB again.
What is
yeah, I was gonna say, what is that? You're gonna need a bigger,
like a 26-incher.
Yeah, 25.25 is my kayak PB right now.
That's crazy.
I want to break that.
That's the great white shark right there, man.
Yeah.
And a 30-inch trout. I got to get a 30-inch trout on the kayak. Haven't done that.
There you go.
Haven't done that yet.
Big old sea trout.
Big old speck.
What's your big red? What's your biggest red?
Oh, on the kayak, that one I just called in.
I was gonna say that one.
No, I caught one big wade fishing, but the one I just caught in Gulf Shores, I didn't have I had the 32-inch Ketch carbonate, you know, and it was a foot paddle. It was 46, 40. I was thinking that being, you know, lenient, I was saying, oh, that's like 41, 42-inch red. The more I look at that fish, that thing was mid-40s. Easy.
That's awesome.
Easy.
That's
and
awesome.
It smoked a 2-inch river to see Biggie Smalls, little bitty square bill. Smoked it.
Nice.
on 20-pound braid and 15-pound fluorocarbon leader. Yep. It was a fun fight.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I had 6 over 30 inches in 2 days over there, which those are no good for the tournament because your slot's 16 to 27. So if it had been a tournament for bulls, I'd have been right there. Yeah, that was fun.
Awesome.
Good times.
I'll have to try and go down to the Chesapeake Bay and hit some stripers up. I've heard that's good, and it's only about an hour from me, or an hour.
Oh, man. You got to get on that. You got to get on that.
I've gone on a few like charter trips out. Like I actually have a 42-inch striper. It was my biggest fish I've ever caught. So, but that was off the back of a charter boat. So
yeah.
But I can't imagine what that would be like on a kayak. So
that'd be awesome.
What was that?
Just showing the love, right?
Showing the love.
Showing the love, dude.
I didn't know we had that.
So how about you, Ryan? What
There
do you
go.
As far as goals and stuff, for 2021, I'd like to win a tournament. I'm hopefully going to get to be able to do some more tournaments 2021. And this year was kind of different. I'd been wanting to do them, but COVID actually kind of paved the way for me to be able to do the ones that I did, because generally springtime kids are in sports. Like my son's in baseball, daughter's in soccer. Fall time, son was playing football, daughter was playing soccer. Well, this year sports got canceled, and so I kind of took advantage of that, because they were playing on Saturdays, and that's when most of the tournaments are. So I kind of took advantage of them being out of out of sports and being able to get out there on those weekends. So I'd like to get some more tournaments in. I'd like to actually win one. Even just a small local one. I think it'd be cool to get to win one. I want to keep learning. I definitely want to break that 20-inch mark and maybe even a new PB, smallie and largie. And I mean, that's. I want to get my daughter out more. I believe that there might be some youth programs in the works getting fixed up around here locally. I'd like to get my daughter out there and try to get her more involved in that. I think it'd be a cool thing for me and her to do together since she's like 11. But yeah, that's my goals right now.
Cool.
Those are good goals.
Thank you.
I like it.
What's your goals?
To take a vacation.
Yeah. COVID messed that one up.
Deserved.
You're supposed to come down here and fish with old Doo-Doo back in April.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I still have that airline credit just stashed away, dude. But I'd like to take a vacation. Not a fishing vacation, not a hunting vacation. I got a timeshare in Vegas, and it's calling my name.
There you go.
Paddle and Fin meetup.
Yeah.
Actually, we could do that because Lake Mead's right there, and they got some bomb stripers.
I thought you didn't want to fish a vacation. This is just a regular vacation. Going to Vegas.
I mean, I got a guide out there. I could just jump on his boat and watch you guys paddle around. No, I mean, I think just to have the trail series be as successful as possible. I probably won't fish any tournaments next year. If I do, it'd be like going down to Table Rock for a weekend and fishing an event down there, whether it be like KBF or Mo Yak or whoever's going there, But my main goal is going to be just make the trail as good and as successful as possible for the first year, and learn from it to see what we could do to make it better for the following year. And then I'm going to hunt more next year. I kind of jumped in at the tail end, and that whole passion got sparked back up this year.
You seem to really be enjoying it.
Yeah, I hadn't hunted in since 2015, and I've gotten into some other areas of hunting that I was interested in, but didn't really have anybody to show me the ropes or have the knowledge to go out and do it. And like duck hunting or waterfowl hunting, and the upland bird thing. So that's been really cool, man. I've had a lot of fun doing that. You know, Sean mentioned Chesapeake Bay. I just watched an episode of Meat Eater, and they got sick of deer out there. And I guess they're like running crazy out there. They got them in Texas too. But that Chesapeake Bay area, Meat Eater, dude, he slammed two deer in like an hour.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. And those are that's supposed to be like the best form of deer you can eat because they're small, the meat's real tender. Like, I mean, that's generally why I hunt. I'm not like a huge trophy hunter. If I shoot a big old buck or something, great. But like, I got some meat in my freezer right now.
Oh yeah.
I ate some venison helper tonight.
That sounds good. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know, I don't hunt, but you know, the more I hear y'all talk about it on the OG show, the more kind of want to get into it. You know, I've thought about getting into it before, anyways. But yeah, I would be that same way. You know, the way I feel and the way I teach my kids is, you know, the only time you take another life is if it's endangering yours or to eat.
Yeah.
You know, so like I've never been a fan of like, you know, killing a bass just so you can hang it on the wall, or, you know, killing an animal just to say you killed a big animal, you know, for food.
Well, especially nowadays with fish, because you can get replicas made.
Oh,
and those replicas sometimes look better than the real fish, you know what I mean? Or just as good. You know, back in the day, like that replica technology just wasn't that great. So that's why a lot of people, I know my old man, he felt guilty. He caught I think it was like almost 7-pounder on Kentucky Lake, and his buddies talked him into keeping it and mounting it. And, you know, he felt so guilty about it, and he regrets it to this day that he should have just let it go. You know, like that, and that's not the biggest bass he's ever caught. You know, the biggest bass he's ever caught was down in Florida. He had one day he caught an 11.5, an 11, and a 10.5-pound bass. Like he's got a picture of holding all three. They put him in the live well, got a picture, let them all go. You know, and he's like, that picture is a good enough trophy. It's on my wall. Like that's all I need. You know. So it's the same thing, you know, but, you know, at the same time, sometimes you have a bad, you know, where a fish swallows a hook, you know, he's not going to make it after you get it out. Do the right thing. Take that fish home, fillet it up, eat it, you know, like, you know, it's the same thing with anything you hunt. It's population control. It only helps the herd rather than, you know, being overrun and overpopulated. Like, look what's going on in Texas right now with hogs. You know, the whole South basically. You know, it's ridiculous.
Feral hogs, big problem. It's open season on them things, and we have a lot of exotics that were brought in too. A lot of you know, fallow deer and axis and nilgai, and you know, that's some good eating stuff right here too. But yeah, the hogs are a major nuisance.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to next fall, like really going hard into the hunting world, because the paddle and trail series will end and then hunting starts a week later.
Sweet.
So,
you planned that out, huh?
I didn't, but it's all my favor. That's for sure. So I'm stoked about that, man. I mean, I used to be a really big hunter. And, you know, I've talked about it before, like lost my ground to hunt on. I've gotten into hunting public land pretty good this year, and I've kind of put some things together. So I'm looking forward to next year for sure.
Next year, you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get into deer hunting, and you're gonna have to come down here, and we're gonna have to do it like we were talking about. Yeah,
Tennessee.
Hey, we got some good deer hunting over here in PA too, man.
That's for sure. That is for sure. And you guys got elk in Pennsylvania now too.
We do. Yep.
It's a very small lottery system to draw an elk tag, but you guys got some elk running around there, which is awesome.
Funny story about that. I saw in the PA news that they brought elk in, and of course they had an elk. It was under a tree, got struck by lightning, and the tree fell on it and killed it. And they're like, "Oh man!
Oh man!
Wow! Oops!
Yeah,
bad day.
One less elk out there for the hunt, but bear is coming back like crazy in PA. Yeah, PA is good.
I don't know if I'd want to hunt a bear. You know, that's like. I don't want to push my luck too much.
I've seen them when I was out turkey hunting already. I had one walk within 30 yards of me, and I was definitely not too happy that he was that close. And all I had was birdshot in my shotgun, so I'm like, all I'm gonna do is make him mad if he comes at me. So
yeah.
Luckily,
I think the best
need new underwear after that.
Well, the best bear story was on Paddle and Fin this year when me and Jay talked to Josiah Pleasant. He's on the Jackson team, and he lives up in Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
And he was walking through a thicket and pretty much came face to face with a big old brown bear. He's like, yeah, it was what it was. He backed up, the bear backed up and took off. But I was like, dude, that could go way worse. Way worse.
We've had them all around our hunting cabin before, where we're out at the fire and it gets between us and the cabin. It's not a good thing, but
oh, you got the hunting cabin. Yeah, I need to get some Pennsylvania tags next year.
There you go. Go crash the party in Sean's.
Yeah, I'm going to see Sean.
Come on over.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's basically it for me, man. Just focus on the trail, spring and summer, and then fall transition back over into the hunting a little bit. So, and we're when we come back in January, we're gonna stick with some hunting and some ice fishing stuff for the OG show, and we're bringing our friend Brad Hurlboss, who we had on in as like a co-host for that, just for the hunting and ice fishing stuff. So yeah, so the hunt-episodes. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be cool. It's different. A lot of guys that fish hunt, and a lot of guys that hunt fish. So we figured it'd be a good way to cross over, maybe reach some other folks in a different audience, and get them to come over. So we already got some things in the works for that. So it'll be cool. Yeah, man.
Awesome. Well, fellas, I appreciate y'all coming on here and chatting with us tonight.
It's cool. We'll send you an invoice.
Yeah. I'll bill it to Paddle and Fin. So.
It's twice of what I get, so you better pull out the wallet, bro.
That's why we only have them twice a year. It's all we can afford.
Man.
Yeah, for any of our listeners that don't really dabble in other segments, make sure you check these guys out. Dust on the Chasing the Tide segment, the saltwater kayak fishing segment every other Sunday. Brian, he's the OG of Paddle and Fin. He's on the OG show live on our Facebook page every Thursday night. Podcast version comes out on Friday. Make sure you check those out if you haven't already.
It's live on YouTube too.
Okay. Sorry.
Just throwing it out there.
But yeah, everybody, hope you have Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year stuff. Other than that, it's been the Bass Fish for Noobs segment, bringing you the techniques, tricks, and tips to help you rip more lips. Later, y'all.
Done.
Oh, he nailed it. Nailed it.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode on Paddle and Fin. Don't forget to go check out our website at paddle_and fin.com. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel at Paddle and Fin. If you got a question, comment, want to hear from a future guest on a future episode, feel free to email us at paddle_and fin@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Paddle and Fin on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to our show supporters, Angler. The Angler button and app just makes for a better time on the water and creates a virtual logbook for every fishing outing out on the water. Shout out to Rocktown Adventures, located in northern Illinois, for all your kayaking, camping, and hiking needs. TRC Covers, protect your investment. Ketch Products, shout out to Ketch Products. Go to ketchproducts.com and put the Paddle and Fin logo directly on your catch board. Shout out to JigMasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to JigMasters.com, use promo code PNF20 and save 20% on all your jig and tackle needs.